Hey, welcome to another video from my series called This Week in Trek. As always, I do these videos whenever something interesting happens in the world of Star Trek. This week was very heavy on news, mostly about a new show called Star Trek Discovery, which is now in pre-production, but let's jump directly into it. The first thing is this very short video released by CBS earlier this week. It tells us two important things. Let's first talk about the numbers. As you probably noticed, it's the release date. So yes, we finally have the release date. So for all you Americans, which is the majority of my audience, you will get the chance to see the pilot on TV. It will air on CBS Sunday, September the 24th. At 8:30 p.m., which is 7:30 Central, but they are not 100% sure about the time, because they will air NFL football that night. So the good thing is they are keeping their promise to show the pilot for free on TV, but unfortunately they still want to air the rest of the show only on CBS All Access. The second episode will be on CBS All Access immediately after the pilot finishes on CBS, and the rest of the 15-episode season will be split into two parts. The first half will be available one episode per week each Sunday from September 24th through November the 5th. The rest of the episodes will be released in January 2018, so they are not wise enough to follow the business model of Netflix, who releases all the episodes at once after the show is finished. They even follow the stupid winter break model. Now for Canada, Space Channel will air the first two episodes, meaning the pilot also on September the 24th at 8:30. The first 8 episodes will also air one episode each week on Sunday between September the 24th through November 5th. And just like the USA, they will have a winter break and continue in January 2018. So what about people like me who don't live in the USA? Well, we will get the show released on Netflix, but it will premiere on Monday, September 25. The first batch of episodes will be released on Netflix, one episode each Monday between September 25th through November the 6th, and the second batch will continue in January 2018. So we will get the show one day after America, which is pretty disgusting if you ask me, so I will have to spend each Monday trying to actively avoid any spoilers from the previous episode, right? Well, thanks for that. By the way, that means that I'll do my little planned episodic reviews, both spoiler-free and spoiler-free, on Tuesday. Now, what is the second thing I mentioned a few minutes ago? We see in this video for the first time ever the final design of the USS Discovery. We have seen a different looking starship in the trailer, and some people were hoping that that ship was the Discovery, but nope. That was the USS Shenzhou. We have seen the Discovery in the very first trailer from last year in the really poor looking CGI video. It looks like most of the fans had problems with the video, and Feller, who was then the showrunner, claimed after hearing the backlash that all of the designs and the CGI are work in progress. So this is the final design of the Discovery, and do you see any significant differences? Because I don't, to be honest, but it's hard to compare it because we don't have the same angles to compare. But it looks like they're keeping the clearly Ralph McQuarrie inspired design, but they significantly improve the quality of the CGI, which to be honest is perfectly fine with me, but I'm pretty sure that the people who hated the design will be pretty pissed. The two producers, Gretchen Berg and Aaron Harbert, I am sorry for pronouncing the names incorrectly, have also shared some information, and I can't really say I like what they had to say to the fans. First, they explained why there is the huge delay. You will get the show almost a year later than promised, And it's the typical stuff you hear, which feels like it was written by a lawyer and they just memorized it. Everything is perfect, everything is beautiful. But the second thing they said is much worse. They are intentionally ignoring the main rule of good Star Trek storytelling, the so-called no conflict rule. If you have seen any of the Star Trek shows before, you pretty sure noticed that the stories are a bit different. There is no real conflict between the main characters. If there is any conflict in a particular episode, it is always resolved in the end of the episode, and all the other conflict has always come from outside. I know that many of the TNG writers hated it because they didn't know how to write this type of stories, but to me it was a good thing. Not only is it absolutely realistic, if you are out in space you must like your shipmates, there simply is no other choice, but also it forces the writers to work on 101%. Thanks to these rules they created something special, shows which are popular years and even decades after they originally aired. But no, that's not good enough for the new producers. When I did my little breakdown of the official trailer, I complained about the scene where the first officer and the captain yell at each other, and from the comments by the producers it was not a coincidence. To quote, "We're trying to do stories that are complicated with characters with strong points of view and strong passions." That sounds horrible to me, just like Ron Moore's Galactica. However, I know that I might be a minority because I absolutely hated every single character in Ron Moore's Battlestar Galactica and its prequel. Other people, however, claim that they loved them, and I've even seen people say that the new Battlestar Galactica is the best sci-fi show of all times. Well, it took me about 12 years to watch all of the 4 seasons, because I turned it off as soon as characters started to yell at each other, which was several times in an episode, but it looks like the new generation likes it. But for me, this is a huge problem. But it doesn't belong here, I will probably make a separate video about it. We also got more information about the lead character, Michael Burnham. The Entertainment Weekly article, link in the description, tells us that the male name was chosen intentionally. But why? That's a good question. Is it a transgender? But we now know that she's fully human, and the first human who attended the Vulcan Learning Center as a child and the Vulcan Science Academy as an adult woman. As the trailer suggests, she had some relationship with Sarek, Spock's father. Soneca Martin Green also commented on the online criticism, which she for some reason thinks is a criticism of diversity. Well, if I may say my opinion, I haven't seen any comment which would suggest that people have a problem with the fact that there are black people, women and homosexuals in the show. People have a problem with the fact that it's the only thing which was promoted so far, instead of promoting the characters or the stories or the morals or whatever. I have for some reason flashbacks of Ghostbusters 2016. Every person online who dared to be in any form or way critical of the trailer or later the movie was immediately called a sexist or misogynist, even though nobody really had a problem with the fact that the main characters are all female. Here in Star Trek, every criticism is shut down because, well, if you don't like what we have shown you so far, that means that you hate women, black people or homosexuals, right? And that's really sad because there are many reasons for legitimate criticism of the stuff we have seen so far. We also got our first look at Captain Lorca and a bit of the bridge of the USS Discovery. Finally! This again comes from Entertainment Weekly, and what can I say about it? Well, I absolutely hate the jogging suit. The uniform. Even if I forget for a moment that this series takes place during the events of The Cage, the uniforms itself just look awful. in my opinion of course, and it looks awful, especially on Jason Isaacs. Why didn't he do the Picard maneuver and straighten it? But what do you think? Am I a minority in this, or does anybody else hate the new uniforms? We have more pictures, again thanks to Entertainment Weekly. Do you know what these things are? Because these are the new transporters. And when I've seen it, I was absolutely speechless. This looks like an old-fashioned time machine and nothing like a transporter. Okay, why? Just why? This is so wrong in all possible ways. Why do they have to change everything? But now take a closer look at the black things on their uniforms. Is it some kind of body armor? Even though I hate the transporter, this thing which looks like armor looks pretty interesting. Jason Isaacs also posted on his Twitter this short video of him getting his life cast mold. Why? Will he get some prosthetics? Maybe some future quote-unquote battle damage? Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks a lot for watching till the end. What do you think? Are you excited about this or not? Because I start to be less and less excited and more angry. Why do they actually call it Star Trek? I am planning to do a special video or a rant about my problems with this show and all the promotional material soon, so feel free to write down your opinions down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, watch any other video on my channel, and see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching, bye.